Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffe Kennedy, author of Fantasy Romance and Romantic Fantasy. I'm here with my first cup of coffee, and so is Jackson. He wanted to be in here today, and there have been kitty photobombing requests, so you may yet get that. Come on, you gonna come up? We'll see. He's in a mood this morning. Here we go. Yeah, say hello to the lovely listeners. I'll tell you about his adventure. First of all, today is Monday, March 22nd, and we are having a lovely snowy morning here in Santa Fe. Snow sifting down, coating everything. Nice to be getting all the snow this spring. So, I'll put this down slightly so you guys can see him better. Say hi. Yeah. So, this thing happened. Well, see, except now you see all like my trash and stuff. Move it back up. He'll put his face up here. So we have this set up in our. I haven't even gotten to sip my coffee, Jackson. Now you guys know the one thing I love more than coffee is cats. Yes, and he knows it. Yes. This is Showcat. You guys want to see Showcat? This is Showcat. Yes, he loves to be tended to. He's very much the boy putty who wants to be groomed and fed, tended to. So we have this setup in our house where we put the kitty boxes out in the garage. Our house is all one level, Adobe style, and so no basement. That's where I always kept cat boxes before. So in this house, we put the cat boxes out in the garage, and David cut for me a little kitty door in the door that goes from the house proper into the garage. And there's a little vestibule there. It's a little laundry room. So there's two doors. There's another door that's like a fire door that goes from the house into the laundry room, little laundry room door into the garage with the kitty door in it. So if we close the fire door, we call that having the airlock on, because then the kitties can't go out. Because once the garage door opens to the outside, if the fire door is not closed, if airlock isn't on, then the kitties can go running out. And this is a thing. And Jackson is a master jailbreaker. And he knows, he listens for that garage door. And so, I mean, David and I have a lot of texts to each other, which are simply airlock on, question mark, because then we know whether or not we can pull the car into the garage. Well, when was it? Yesterday morning. This was such a funny thing. This has never happened before. So yesterday morning, David comes to me, and it's like 9 by now. We've been up for several hours. Puttering around, I fed the cats. We did our thing. I've been reading, drinking my coffee, having a wonderful time. And David says to me, did you go out and open the garage door? And I said, no, I haven't been out there yet. And he says, are you sure? Because it's open. And I'm like, no, I haven't been that way yet. And maybe you did it. And he said, no. He says, I didn't open it, but it's open. I'm like, well, where's Jackson? Not to be found. Because normally he has breakfast and then he goes and has a nap, right? I go and check his major cubby spots, hoping against hope, but he's not in the house. So it's like shit. And he's probably been out for hours, right? And it's just not safe for him to be out unsupervised. So I go outside and I go around to the front of the house, kind of down where those steps go down, where I have the chairs, where I take a lot of the photos. And I call him. Good call, Jackson. He's listening to this story. And he comes leaping across the green belt to me. Green belt meaning desert space. And he was a little freaked out. He loves to jailbreak, but he loves to jailbreak if somebody's going to chase him. I think being outside with nobody caring. He started to feel like abandoned cat, unloved cat. So fortunately, all was well. He came in and was has been very loving ever since. Been crashed out. He hasn't wanted to go out again. Um, Lots of napping, lots of cuddling. But what we think happened was that David brought the car in the night before, because that's one of the last things we do. We often leave like one of the cars out so that we can get to tools in the garage, and he was doing some stuff around the house. So I was heading to bed, he was bringing the car in, but our garage door has like one of those sensor deals on it, right? So that if something's in the way, it won't close and it opens again. And I think he brought the car in and that the garage door, he started to close the garage door and it opened again. And he said, well, I made sure it was closed. And I'm like, I know he didn't make sure it was closed because he never waits for it to be closed all the way. He watches for it to start to come down, but he doesn't. I'm always the one who wants to stand there and watch it close all the way. So we think the garage door was open all night, which means that Jackson was out probably running around all night and came back for breakfast and then headed out again. So Jackson had a wild weekend. But now he's laying here on the floor, lying here on the floor, lying here on the floor next to me and giving himself a bath and being very cuddly. So Jackson's big adventure. Uh, I guess these things happen sometimes, right? But wow, it was a big adventure, wasn't it? Yeah, not exactly a perfect one. It wasn't nearly as fun as he thought it would be. Come here, sweetheart. Yeah. So, so anyway, that was part of the excitement this weekend. Um, Other excitement is that we've been replacing our under cabinet lights because they are not bright enough, and one of them stopped working, and we decided, hell, let's replace them. So that's been one of those typical household project things, right? Where it's Saturday. Um, I had a few things to do. I did a lot of cleanup in the secret garden Saturday. That was great. I should give you guys an after picture. I'll go out and do an after picture, although it's a snowy after picture. Um, but I'll talk more about the garden cleanup. I was just thinking about analogies I wanted to make on garden cleanup. And then I had a big meeting for Safwa to deal with some changes we're trying to make. And then I went to Home Depot with David and we picked out, oh, I haven't done earrings yet, have I? These sort of track lights to go under the cabinets. And they were different than he would have picked. So it was good that I was with him when we brought them home. And then it turns out that they are the wrong kind of receptacle for what we need. So Sunday, David went back and got different kits for like $200 more. So it begins. And I had brunch with a friend of mine who I had not seen for exactly 1 year and 1 month. The last time we had met for lunch was on February 21st, 2020, before it all began. So it was good to have brunch with her and catch up. Uh, and then David's been working on those lights. So, and he has to go back to the store today because there's still, he needs a different end cap thing for the receptacle. And hopefully I am not going to be overly involved because I have to finish writing Sorceress Queen and the Pirate Rogue, which is, I am at 75,000 words. Yeah, just past 75,000 words, which means I only really have 14 to go. And I'm kind of hitting that panic point of that I have a lot more story to put in than I feel like I have words. But I hit this panic point often. After my banner day Thursday, I did have not quite a banner day Friday. How many words did I get on Friday? I ended up kind of hitting the tired on Friday. Oh yeah, I only got 1613 on Friday. I had a board meeting, which always gets in my way. I really need to change that. But I was only doing 500 and 600 words an hour, so that might have happened anyway. So anyway, I'm still on track to finish drafting by this Friday, but there was a wrench in the scene. One thing I thought that things would go very fast on Friday, and then um, my characters skidded up against a big conflict, which I think needed. I I don't even think I know it needed to happen, but I was surprised they hit it when they did, um, and it ended up being difficult to write and emotional. I hate it when my characters fight with each other. Isn't that funny? Um, and so I ended up tapping out. So finishing this week, and then revising. I do have room. I did talk to my proofreader, and I have until like April 8th to get her the final version. So if I need the room, I have it and I will take it. And I'll talk more about that in a moment. Let's do earrings. Today's earrings are these really cool, funky, dangly earrings that are silver with an abstract kind of design, geometric design at the bottom that's in blue. Uh, they are based on a Frank Lloyd Wright design, and my aunt got them for me at I think at Taliesin in Phoenix. And I've always liked these earrings. I think they're really fun, cool design. So, so Janelle asked me if I was going to change up the order of books of my planned releases for this year, given that Dark Wizard is selling so much better than Golden Griffin. And I need to discuss with Grace, who is my business buddy. Um, my plan right now is I'm locked into Sorceress Queen and the Pirate Rogue. Then I'm going to write Bright Familiar, and so what she was wondering is, would I move up book 3 on Bonds of Magic instead of alternating with and going on to the next book in Heirs of Magic, which is Dragon's Daughter. Um, and I don't know. I'm going to see what Grace thinks about that. But my initial answer is no. And I was thinking about that with Sorceress Queen and sort of thrashing a little bit on doing my typical ending thing, like where I've been mulling about this fight that they're having all weekend and how to sort it out. Um, and I think I know where things are going, and I know what all I want to put in there, and hopefully there will be room for all of it. And if there isn't, it'll just be longer. But um, the thing is I'm not business minded enough, unless Grace kicks my ass, uh, to to change up what I'm doing that way, because I really do love these Heirs of Magic books too. I really love Sorceress Queen, and it's just not in me not to do a good job on this book and not do this couple justice, because I really love what they're doing. And so it would be nice if all books sold equally well, but a lot of times I'm writing the story I want to write. Sometimes we just have to jailbreak. Yes, even if it's dangerous. We just have to go for a run and see what happens. Come here. Come back up. Now he's concerned about being stuck in my office. He says the door is closed and he's trapped. Yeah. You could see he's looking a little meaner now. What a good boy you are. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to stick with my plan. I had good reasons for making the plan the way it was. Grace and I were going to talk on Saturday, and then my meeting went long, and then David wanted me to go to Home Depot, and she was booked all day Sunday, so we're supposed to touch base today and reschedule our chat. I mean, I know my mom's probably rolling her eyes at us because, like she and her friends just call each other. They just like call out of the blue, you guys. It's like this weird thing. It's a weird boomer thing. Gen X, we schedule our calls. That right, Jackson? Yeah. Anyway, but Grace and I like to have a good long time to talk. We usually talk for an hour or two, going through a bunch of stuff. So yeah, those are my thoughts on those things. Are you a show cat? You are a show cat. So you guys are gonna regret having cats on here because all I do is say, "Hey, don't do that." Hey, ow, fuck. Sorry, guys, you just scratched me across the lip. Ah, well, there's some real lifeness. Ah, that really hurt, Jackson. And my nose. Sorry, you guys, I'm bleeding. Oh, here, I'll pause. Well, that was exciting. um, yeah, he got me really good on the side of the nose. That has clotted and stopped bleeding now. The lip is going to bleed a little bit more. Take a little while longer to close. Isn't it miraculous though, the way that we heal? I'm I'm always amazed at how fast something like this will clot and close up. I mean, I know that there are people who have disease issues where that does not happen, but is this being sort of a matter of course within a couple of minutes, it just closes up and no longer bleeds. I often I've long been thinking about writing a story about an alien species where uh, they don't heal the same way we do, where they would have to evolutionarily compensate for this lack of the ability to immediately heal like we're doing, or like I'm doing right now. We get impatient with ourselves for not healing faster than we do, but you know minor stuff like this that it just clots up and stops. I think it's amazing. I think it's miraculous. So I wonder how you'd evolutionarily compensate for not having that ability. um, and I think it would have to be like the big R factor, lots and lots of offspring, right? For those population biologists among you, these are things to think about, and I won't go think about it too much, or I'll get totally distracted. Um, so anyway, apologies for that. It's the downside of having the cat photobomb. He did not mean to scratch me. I didn't want him on my keyboard, the way he jumped up on the laptop there, and I was afraid he was going to mess something up. So the way I grabbed him, he was just scrabbling for purchase and caught me with one of his hind claws. Jackson is normally very careful not to hurt me, but so it goes, right? And we got to talk about the miraculousness of blood clotting. Sorry for those of you who are squeamish about blood. Um, the nose one actually started bleeding pretty copiously, so I did do peroxide, and all's well now. So who knows what I was talking about? I don't think I might have to review later and continue tomorrow. Um, I think I was talking about like Sorceress Queen and stuff and wanting all the stories to be good. I mean, I guess I wish all stories were equally beloved, but boy, I'll tell you one thing about having lunch with my friend yesterday, who's a reader, is she loved Dark Wizard, which is great. And so she talked a lot about what she liked about Dark Wizard, but she did not like Golden Griffin and the Bear Prince. She said it's the first out of all the 12 Kingdoms and Uncharted Realms books that she hasn't liked. And I mean, she really hated Zeph, hated her, thought that Zeph should have listened to the no, and that she was a stalker. And um, she said something interesting that she thought that Zeph and Esther didn't belong together, and that Zeph would never make a good queen. And I just totally disagree. But sometimes I think the this couple doesn't belong together is a way of saying that they feel the heroine does not deserve the hero. And people are hard on Zeph. And it's so funny because Assistant Karina and I were talking about it. Um, the arrows of the heart, Zur, who is Zeph's father, behaves exactly the way Zeph does in Golden Griffin. And I really do think it comes back to that some things are allowable for male characters that are not allowable for female characters. And and I knew that Zeph was going to be a difficult character that way, uh, but I wanted to write it anyway. So, I mean, I could make decisions based entirely on business sense, but I don't, for better or worse, right? And on that note, I'm going to go work on Sorceress Queen. Uh, at least I should have the draft done this week, so that'll be good. And then if I, uh, unless I add a lot more to the end, but if I do, I do, right? So it goes. So I will remind you all that First Cup of Coffee is part of the Frolic Media Podcast Network, and you will find more podcasts you love at frolic.media/podcasts. Bloody lip and all. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.